StraighTAllDay.com.
Now tuned in to the show where you learn the discipline to show up day after day to do the work, the confidence to put yourself out there boldly and authentically, and the mental toughness to continue showing up, doing the work, putting yourself out there, even when the success you expected to achieve is yet to be achieved. And on top of all this, you get a huge dose of personal initiative, which is the go-getter energy that moves any one of us out there, including yourself, to go and make things happen instead of waiting for things to happen. And we put all this together into one framework, one philosophy. We have codified this entire system into our university. We have a hardcover book on the subject, and you are listening to the daily masterclass that is called Work on Your Game. My name is Dre Baldwin, also known as Dre All Day, and welcome to the show. And today's topic, social media is not free and why this matters for you. I thought of this subject when I saw that someone had taken, and this is not the first time it happened, won't be the last time, someone had taken a clip of some content that I posted on the internet years back, and they posted it on their page, and a bunch of people came back to my original content, and they were leaving comments about it and talking about it. And just looking at the whole process of how it even happened, that simple process that I just explained, it got me to thinking about the 5 forms of investment that we talked about in episode number 609. And those 5 forms being time, money, attention, energy, and focus. Now, how much of those investments and resources, human beings, including maybe sometimes you and sometimes me, we waste every single day on social media platforms when we could be using those exact same resources on ourselves and on our goals and on the places that we claim that we want to get to in life. Now, I understand that I am not here to change the world. I am not in the business of changing minds, which I just told you about in episode number 1669. You are not in the business of changing minds. That's not what I'm here to do, to change anybody's mind about how you use social media or why you're using it. But I will make sure that those who want to be saved, or those who do want to look for some ways to get more, take back more of your resources and use them for yourself, especially going into any new chapters in your life or with any changes that you're looking to make, that you do have the information, you have a logical understanding of why what you think is free, i.e. using social media, is not actually as free as it looks. So let's get into this so I can explain it and tell you more about this. And just so you know, before we even get into this conversation, I talked about social media in episode number 1114. How much does social media matter for your business? We're going to refer back to that one again today. Episode number 490. Social media is a new TV show, so do not be fooled by the actors. So make sure you refer yourself to both of those masterclasses after you listen to this one. So let's get straight into today's point. Point number 1, the topic once again, social media is not free. Why does this matter to you? Number 1, anyone who sells anything and makes money off of it, there is a product. All right, nobody can just say, hey, just give me money and just give it, unless you're maybe a panhandler on the side of the road when you get on the highway off ramp. But other than that, anybody else who's selling something and making money from it, there is a product that is being sold. So if you're a coach, a life coach, or a business coach, or a mindset coach, that coaching is your product. If you're a personal trainer, the actual training that you give people and the results you get them, that's the product. If you're a photographer, the photos are the product. If you sell bread, milk, and eggs at a grocery store, those are the product. So social media, what is the product? I mean, social media companies make money. Instagram got sold to Facebook for a couple $1 billion. They tried to buy Snapchat for a couple $1 billion. WhatsApp got purchased by, who purchased WhatsApp? I can't even remember. Somebody purchased somebody for X number of dollars. All these social media companies are worth, if not millions, then into the billions of dollars. And why is this? What is their product? If they're not selling anything, how are they worth so much money? Now, I told you a while back that the reason why social media platforms like a Snapchat or a Facebook or a WhatsApp are worth what they're worth is because of their lists. They own a list of users, which are people like you and me, and they have all of our contact information. They know what we're doing on these apps all the time. They know what we're messaging. They're reading our messages. They see what we look at. They see what we're interested in. They see how much we engage and how much we don't engage in certain content. They know so much about us psychographically that's worth so much. So I just kind of gave you the answer. So what is the product for a social media platform? What is their product? The product is you. If you have an account on any social media platform, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, WhatsApp, TikTok, you are the product. These platforms buy and sell your time and your presence, your energy, your attention, and your focus all day, every day. That's what they make money off of. The reason TikTok is worth what it's worth is because they are able to buy and sell you, your time, money, attention, energy, and focus. Not your money, but your time, attention, energy, and focus every day. Because how much time do you spend on those platforms? You have an app that tells you how much time you're spending on them. You can look and it will tell you right there. You got 24 hours in a day. Let's just say that you spend 8 hours sleeping, and let's say you spend, let's just give it 2 hours for eating and just taking care of your personal needs. Now you got what? That's 8 plus 2, that's 10. So you got 14 hours left. How many hours are you spending on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Snapchat, TikTok every single day? Those platforms know exactly how much. If you don't know how much, let me tell you something. They know how much. And time being the most valuable resource that you have, it is the most valuable asset that you own. They know what you're doing with that most valuable asset at all times. They know how much you're spending on their platform, and every single thing that you're doing while in those platforms, they have data on all of it, all down to the second. They know more about you than you know about you. Now, why does all that matter? Because you, the product, you, not only do you probably not know as much about how much time you're spending on their platforms that they do, and time is your most valuable thing, so you don't know as much about your most valuable resource than they do, as they do. You do not participate in the revenue sharing of all this buying and selling that is going on of your time. Now, where is this buying and selling happening? This is when Facebook runs an ad, or any of these platforms run advertisements. The reason they're able to run advertisements and get companies to pay money to show whatever they're showing to the platforms is because the companies that pay for the advertising get told, hey, here's how many people are going to see this. Here's how much engagement you're going to get. Here's how much traffic you're going to get. Here's the number of possible people who could possibly come across this when you run this advertising. They tell you that right there up front when you are about to run an advertisement. Whenever I set up a Facebook ad, it tells you, hey, here's how, based on the targets that you've set, where you want to run the ad, whether you want to sell it to men or women, or whether they're a lookalike audience from here or there, what age range they're in, what geographical location. There's 7 million people who could possibly see this ad, and based on how much money you want to spend and how long you want to run the ad, you can expect, Dre, that between 1,000 and 2,000 people are going to see your ad, and you can expect to get this many results and this many leads as a result of running this ad. They know exactly what's going to happen. How do they know all this? Because all of our information about our time, attention, energy, and focus is all in their database. They know everything about us. Now, I'm going to connect the dots as to why all of this matters here. I'm just laying this foundation so you understand what's going on and how you're being used in this process. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. So just hear me out so I can lay this whole thing down for you. And again, the topic is social media is not free, and we're talking about why that matters. They are buying and selling you all day, but you don't participate in any other revenue sharing. You're just being passed around. So the more time that you spend on any platform, whichever social media app you're looking at right now while you're listening to me talk, the more they can sell you for. The more time you spend on Instagram, the more Instagram can sell you for. Instagram can sell you for $1 if you spend an hour a day, but if you spend 10 hours a day, they can sell you for $10. They get all 10 of those dollars, you get 0 of those $10, even though you're the product that's being sold. And the algorithm's job, the algorithm being the thing that gets you to open up your notifications or see who liked your last photo or see what you got in your DM or see who retweeted your tweet or see what video you're supposed to watch next. The entire job of the algorithm, that is the formula that is designed to try to keep you on that site for as long as possible and keep you engaging as much as possible. Its entire job is to entice you to give even more of your time to them. And the thing is, here's the challenge with an algorithm's fighting to take as much time from you as possible is that your time is limited. You only have 24 hours in a day. All right, you can't replace time once it's used up. Time is the most valuable asset you have, and the same way that, listen, if somebody tried to take some money out of your wallet and just take it from you, just walk away, you probably wouldn't allow that to happen. But how much of your time are you allowing algorithms to take from you every single day? Now, this is just some baseline understandings that I want you to have in your head before we go further into this conversation. So this is just point number 1 here today. And how many points we got here? We got 4 here today that we're going to go over. So point number 1, and the topic again, I'll tell you the topic in a second, is that you are the product on social media, but you are not making any money from it. Keeping that in mind, let's move on to point number 2. The topic, once again, is social media is not free. Why does this matter to you? The reason why this whole algorithm works, the algorithms on every social media platform are designed to keep you on them as much as possible, to take as much time as possible from you. The reason this works is because most people would rather look at, read about, or talk about other people's lives than do something to make their own lives. So everything I've laid out so far is not a diss of social media as an industry. I'm not railing against social media. I mean, look me up. I'm on social media. All the platforms you're on, I'm on. Only one that I don't use TikTok, but I'm on everything else. LinkedIn, YouTube, we want to call those social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat. I have accounts on all of those. I use all of those platforms all the time. So I'm not railing against social media. I'm not against social media. I'm just letting you know what the game is you got to know the game. I mean, the show is called Work on Your Game. The reason this works is because people would rather watch others than do something for themselves. It takes a lot of effort to do something for yourself. It takes no effort to watch other people's lives and talk about it. It's passive. Taking in what other people are doing is a passive activity. You are not required to do anything. All you have to do is look at it, maybe leave a comment about it. Requires no energy whatsoever from you, and human beings are inherently lazy. But to do something for yourself requires effort, requires work, requires personal initiative, requires discipline. All right, those things they're not for everybody. All right, this show right here is not for everybody. What we talk about here every day ain't for everybody. This is only for a select group of individuals. So since this is not a diss of social media, it is actually, contrarily, it's a congratulations to social media. This was a fantastic idea, what they did to put this whole thing together of let's create a platform or multiple platforms, the whole social media industry, where all people had to do is look at, read about, and talk about what other people have going on, rather than creating some type of platform where people had to do things for themselves. Because doing things for yourself requires effort and work and time and energy. How about we create a platform where all you had to do is just give your time and attention to looking at what everybody else is doing. You don't have to do any work whatsoever. People will use it all day because they understand the inherent truths about people. I told you these 3 truths. People do not read, people do not think, and people are lazy. The laziness of people is what social media is built on. It is built on understanding that you would rather passively consume what other people are doing than actively do what you need to do. I am actually envious of social media for having created this before I did. They came upon the idea of what to do with it. I mean, I understood these truths long ago, but I didn't know about making some software that would leverage it to my personal benefit. They came up with it before I did. This is a fantastic idea. Finding people who would rather pay attention to other people's business than build their own business has always existed. All right? This is not a brand new thing at all. It was just in 2008, around 2008-ish, let's say, somebody came around and said, you know what? Let's monetize this. Let's make money off of this. This is a hell of an idea, and I'm actually envious. I'm hating on all social media platforms and the people who created them because they were smarter than me, and they came up with the idea of monetizing the fact that people are lazy and would rather passively watch other people's lives and actively build their own lives. They came up with the idea of monetizing it, whereas I just understood it, but I didn't get the idea of monetizing it. So they beat me to the punch. So shout out to social media for that, and fuck social media for it at the same time in a tongue-in-cheek way, if you understand what I'm saying. Let's move on to point number 3. The topic, once again, social media is not free. Why does this matter to you? I'm not telling you to stop using social media. As I just told you, I have accounts on all these platforms. Only one I'm not on as of this recording is TikTok, but hey, maybe even that'll change. I don't think so, but maybe it will. I'm telling you that if you do use social media, that you need to start using it as a producer rather than a consumer. I'll repeat. If you are using social media, use it as a producer rather than a consumer. The producers are the people putting things out into the world and drawing attention to what they're doing for the stuff they're putting into the world, the value they're putting into the world, while the consumers, on the other hand, are those who are looking at what everybody else is doing and giving up their most valuable resources and getting nothing in exchange. Often getting nothing in exchange. Maybe you're getting something, depending on who you're consuming from. Now, depending on what you're consuming and what they put out, maybe you're getting some value from it. I know if you consume something that I put on social media, you're gonna get some value from it. Now, I can't speak for anybody else who's putting anything up online. All right, I don't speak for anyone but me. But if you're giving up your time, your attention, and your focus to another person or a platform or an app or anything in life, ask yourself, is this investment going to be paying me back, or is it just taking from me? Is this an investment that's going to pay me back later, or is it an expense that's just going to take from me and I'll have nothing to show for it? And understand that in life, all of us at times are going to incur expenses. We're going to give something up and there's not really much that we're going to get back from it. But understand, if you're having more expenses than you are making investments, eventually you will run out of resources with which to even incur expenses or investments. You won't have any money left to invest or any time or attention left to invest if you use it all all on bad investments, if you use it all on bad investments that actually become expenses or costs, you're not getting anything back. So there's a limit to how much it is you can give up before you don't have anything left to give. And understand, you can't give value to the world if you don't have any value within you to put out. So your most valuable resources, time, attention, energy, and focus, and of course money. We're going to talk about money in a minute. If you're giving all those up and not getting anything back, well, first of all, if you're using social media all day, you're not getting as much back as you're giving up, no matter how much value you're getting from whoever, because I'm sure anybody who's giving you a high level of value on social media, they have other ways you can get value from them that will take you off of social media, like us. Like we have books, we got this masterclass right here, we got Work on Your Game University. We are trying to entice you to get off the social media. There's only so much I can give you there because I know I don't have your attention for that long. I want to bring you somewhere where we can get more intensive as far as the value that we're going to give you and what you're going to do with it, as opposed to something that you can enjoy and appreciate for 30 seconds, then you move on to something else. As a consumer, you are giving up time, attention, energy, focus, and the opportunity cost of giving up your time, attention, energy, and focus is that you can't do the things that will make you money. So you see how all 5 forms of investment get factored in here. See, in order for me to earn money, I need to put my time, attention, energy, and focus into the thing that I'm building or the thing that I'm doing or the person I'm working with or whatever it is I'm doing to create value. I have to give time, attention, energy, and focus to something in order to make money. But if I'm giving my time, attention, energy, and focus to social media, then I'm not making any money. So I'm losing all 5 of my investments. I'm losing the opportunity cost of all 5 of my investments when I'm on a social media platform. But the social media platform, the Instagrams, the Facebook, the TikToks, the Snapchats, they're all making money off of my time, attention, energy, and focus. So every minute I spend there, they're earning off of me. I'm earning absolutely nothing. So you thought social media was free, huh? No, it's not free because you're paying for it with your most valuable resources every single day. And the opportunity cost of that payment that you're making with 4 of your 5 most valuable resources means it is functionally impossible for you to do something that would create more of the 5th valuable resource being money. Because you need time, attention, focus, and energy to make money. But if you're giving them to social media, then you can't do something to make money. You see how all of this works together. So are you producing or are you consuming? Now, again, all of us are consumers on some level at different points. When I get done recording this episode, between this and if I go create something else or I'm writing something else, I might go hop on an Instagram or a Twitter and browse my timeline for the 2 minutes, the 2-minute break that I take between now and the next thing that I'm doing. So I consume as well. Everybody consumes on some level. And there's a certain healthy level of consumption that's necessary. In order for me to come up with the topics that I come up with, I have to do some consuming, because if I don't take anything in, then I'm not going to have much left to give. Eventually, I'm going to run out of stuff I have to give. So I take things in, but I take things in with the mentality of, what can I extract from this that I can use then to produce? So I don't consume passively, I consume actively. I'm actively consuming, looking for something that I can use for my next production. So I'm using it strategically. So I'm not letting them use me, I'm using them. So make sure that you're not being the passive consumer that is being used by these platforms, and they are using a whole lot of people. That's why these platforms are so popular and they're worth so much. They might not be making so much money, but they're worth so much if they ever were to sell. So the question is, not even a question, this is actually a statement. Since you don't have time, attention, energy, and focus to give towards making yourself money, therefore you have lost all 5 of your investments every moment you're giving up to social media passively. You are basically giving your life to social media and they don't have to give you anything back. What are they giving back to you? Nothing. They're taking it all from you. They're not taking it from you. You're giving it to them. They didn't take it. You gave it to them. And they don't have to give you anything back. And you think it's free? No, it's not free. Social media is not free at all. It's actually the most expensive thing you can do. And what's actually free, if we're being honest here in this conversation, and we always keep it real on this show, you know what's free in this whole equation? You're free. All right. You have given up your most valuable resources to a platform that has to give nothing back to you. You have given your life up to them for free. They're taking everything from you and giving you absolutely nothing back when you are a passive consumer utilizing social media. Marinate on that as we move on to point number 4. Today's topic is social media is not free, and here's why it matters. Here's the call to action. Let me tell you what to do with all this information that I just gave you. The next time you are about to get into a comment battle with a person that you don't know, or the next time you're about to leave a negative comment towards a person who you don't know or does not even know that you exist, or you find yourself giving away your most valuable resource, being your time, to a platform, but not getting anything back from that platform is actually going to help you grow and advance in your life, stop yourself. Stop and get some help. It's like that meme that they have of Michael Jordan. Stop, get some help. Stop doing that. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Do something that will pay you back in the future. In other words, figure out what's a wise investment that I can make with the same time, energy, attention, and focus instead of doing this thing that's not going to do anything for me. Now, it's going to give you a dopamine hit to do it right now. You'll feel good that you did something, you put something online. Maybe somebody will upvote your comment. Maybe somebody will comment back and you go back and forth with that individual. But ask yourself, are these empty calories or is this something that's going to stick to my ribs? Empty calories in a nutritional sense is when you eat something and there's a certain number of calories. Like if I was to eat a Snickers bar right now, there's a certain number of calories that come with that Snickers bar, but there's no real value in those calories. Those are calories that do actually count, but it's not a high level of nutritional value. Let's just put it that way. That's the best way I can explain it since I'm not a nutritionist. Do something that's going to pay you back in the future. Something that's going to stick to the ribs. In other words, a year from now, the time that you invested in that thing right now is actually still paying you back, as opposed to something that's only going to be valuable for the next 5 minutes, and then it will be completely useless because by an hour from now, everybody's moved on to the next thing. Where do you begin with all this? The way that you start is listening to episode number 609, where I discuss and explain and introduce the 5 forms of investment. I also did a training inside of Work on Your Game University a couple weeks ago, actually talking about these same 5 forms of investment and how to use them. And ask yourself the question, where are my investments going? What am I doing with my time? What am I doing with my money? And what am I doing with my other resources towards making more money? Where's my attention going? What am I focused on? And to what or to whom am I dedicating my energy? You should be able to answer these questions for yourself every single day. This is not something that you just come upon every now and then when you're in a reflective mood about your life. This is something you should be asking yourself all the time. You should always be able to answer. What am I doing with my time, money, attention, energy, and focus? If you're giving them away, again, look at the screen time app on your phone. It will tell you how much time you're spending on these platforms. And then ask yourself, based on the 13 hours that I gave to Instagram last week, how much did I get back? And if you don't like the answer, then you need to make some adjustments. Let's recap today's class, which is social media is not free. You thought it was free. They sell it to you as free, but they're actually selling it to you. And there's a reason why they're selling it to you, because something is a product. You didn't even know what it was, but I'm gonna clear it up for you today. Social media is not free, why it matters for you. I thought of this when I seen people going back and forth in the comments, arguing about different things, talking about different types of topics and people and all types of stuff going on. I'm like, where is this taking any of these people? Why are they giving their resources away to something that does not matter? And they won't even remember that they did it 2 hours from now. It got me thinking about the 5 forms of investment that are covered in episode 609. Understand, I'm not here to change your mind. I'm only here to help the people who are looking to make changes. And I think those are the type of people who are tuned into a show called Work on Your Game. Point number 1, anybody who sells anything and makes money, there is a product that they are selling. The product of social media is you as a human being. You are the product. They are buying and selling you and your time, energy, attention, and focus every single day. Only thing is, you do not participate in any other revenue sharing. They're basically passing you around, making money off of you, but you make 0. Point number 2, this works because most people would rather look at, read about, and talk about other people's lives than do something to build their own lives. So this is not a diss of social media. It's actually a congratulations, because they understood the basic truth about human beings, that human beings are lazy, would rather be passive than be active, and they figured out a way to monetize it. I'm too dumb. I didn't think of a way to monetize it first, so I'm actually hating on them because they came up with the idea faster than I did, and they did a better job of monetizing it than I did. Point number 3, I'm not telling you to stop using social media. I use it myself. I'm telling you that when you do use it as a producer rather than as a consumer. The producers are people who put things into the world and draw attention through doing that, while the consumers are those who are looking at what everyone else is doing and giving their most valuable resources up for nothing in exchange. What are you trying to be in life? Are you trying to be on the stage, or are you trying to be in the audience? If you think social media is free, it is actually not free. The thing that's free is you, because you're giving up your time, attention, energy, and focus, and the opportunity cost of doing that is that you can't focus on making money. So you are not making anything back, but you're giving everything up you are the free product of social media, but they're making money off of something you're giving up for free. That is bad business. And point number 4, here's the call to action. Next time you're about to get into a comment battle with somebody or leave a negative comment about somebody you don't even know, or you find yourself giving away your most valuable resource, being your time, to a platform but not getting anything back that's going to help you, stop, get some help. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Do something that will pay you back in the future. In other words, make a wise investment. Where do you begin? Go listen to episode 609 about the 5 forms of investment and ask yourself, what are you doing with yours? You should be able to answer that question to yourself every single day. If you're ready to make better, wiser investments with your time, money, attention, energy, and focus so that you can develop your game, put your game out to the people who need to see it, and get ROI from your game because you're putting value into the world, real value into the world, and get value back, join us at Work on Your Game University, where you will start by going through the entire codified Work on Your Game system. Get started at workonyourgameuniversity.com. Work on your game. Dre all day.